So the presentation is just about how to set up a community newspaper, the process that we went through to do it and why we did it in the first place. And I'm going to talk a bit about how it's going so far, some stats to have a look at, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do in the future and sort of possible avenues that we're taking going forward. So the reason we set up in the first place is because local news coverage is in decline. The past decade has seen rapid decline in local news production. Many areas now covered by one paper. A lot of papers that used to be daily are now weekly editions, and there's been really severe cuts to local newspapers. And so, whereas you once might have had 10 people working for a paper, and there's now literally 2 or 3 people. With that in mind, local news is now dominated by 4 publishers. So 70% of all local news is put out by 4 publishers, which are Trinity Mirror, Johnson's Press, who do Belper News, Panel Mercury, and things like that, Newsquest and Tyndall. The concentration of ownership of cuts to editorial staff has led to large areas of the UK offering limited choice of news sources and less original content. One of the key reasons for starting Herald was our dissatisfaction with local news and content that was published that wasn't about the Belper area. This has led some to argue that maybe a democratic deficit emerging at a local level, whereby councils and courts go unreported and the public must rely on social media and word of mouth. As Rhoda Fairhead, chair of BBC Trust, in 2015 said, it says, some local council meetings are going unreported, some court reporting is starting to fall by the wayside. As a result, media's ability to hold account those who wield power in local communities may be starting to decay. So with all that in mind, we all came together and decided to set up Herald. To do that, it's going to be different depending on your town and village, but I'll take you briefly through our process and how we did it, and give you an understanding of how it came about. The first thing we did was hold an open call to interested parties. So in July last year, around 30 of us met to discuss the idea of setting up a community newspaper. In this meeting we discussed issues like what we wanted from our newspaper, what it should include, whether or not it should be printed or online, how it should be funded, and basically every issue that you can think of to do with setting up a newspaper. Not all these were answered in our first meeting. We did choose an editor, we did choose an editorial team, and we did pick our name. We were also looking to have a local website developer who helped us set up our sites and set up all our email accounts and things like that, and he did that for free. Once you've done that, you need to establish yourself as a community organisation. So, like any community group, you need a formal structure. At our next meeting, we decided our organisation name would be Belper Community Publishing, and we assigned elected officers. We then moved towards setting up a bank account and writing a constitution. Once you've done that, you'll need an editorial team to decide the content and the direction of the newspaper, and also to control the quality of what's being published. These are the people that do the day-to-day nitty-gritty stuff, so they're the people that put articles up every day, they're the people that go out and search for stories. We currently have 4 people in Herald, including myself, and a list of regular contributors. It's essential that these people are committed to the project from day one, because you're going to need a lot of content when you start. Depending on how many people you have, it might be advisable to form teams to deal with layout, design, distribution, advertisement promotion, and social networking. put your team together, obviously you want to go to press. So by now you should have a good idea of why you want to start a newspaper, the direction that you want it to take, and the corporate to put it together. All you need to do is go to print. How you do this will depend heavily on whether you go printed or whether you go online or both. So I don't know if you've actually been on our website, but this is kind of what the homepage looks like. So what I want to do is I want to cover a few issues that you'll need to sort of bear in mind when you go to print. First one of these is content. You can't stress enough that you're going to need a lot of content when you start your newspaper, especially if it's online, because otherwise you're going to have a lot of blank spaces there. Stuff worse than the website full of blank spaces, so when you start you want at least a good 20 or 30 articles to go online. Think about the content that the community wants. Do some research and pick your headings carefully. I don't know if you can see that. You read out this sort of basically we've got views, lifestyle, creative Belper, what's on, environment, history, calendar, reviews and opinions. But you can swap them around as you go along. So. The lesson here is that you only get one chance to make a first impression. So don't rush your release. Spend time and make sure it's right and make sure your team's happy with what you're putting out. It's going to change as you go along, but give it the best start you possibly can. You also want to write a press release. It's a good way of encapsulating your aims and gaining experience. Distribute it around the community and to local media. It'll allow others to see exactly what you're doing and tell them when you're going to go live and where they can find your site. Likewise, make sure you've got presence online. Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. Without them, we wouldn't be where we are today. We'll talk a bit more about that. And then lastly, word of mouth. It may seem a bit old-fashioned, but in a small community like Belper, word of mouth can be surprisingly effective. If every member of your group tells 10 people, you can reach hundreds of people. So Tony's going to talk a little bit about where we're at so far. Our first 28 weeks, is it?
26 weeks.
26 weeks since we started. And so, yeah, our progress so far.